We have three types of meetings. I always like to break them down on the way we kind of structure the office, okay? Because I think structure allows you to prioritize your success. Can I say that?
Yes.
Awesome. So the way we kind of structured out the business is we have three types of meetings. We have something that talks a little bit big picture. Okay, that's the first type of meeting. Right, we'll talk about long-term meetings. Hey, what happens after the 6 months? What can this business provide? Okay. Who's connected? Am I not connected again? All right. Okay, cool. Okay, with that being said, right, we have the big picture meeting, talks about a little bit after the 6 months. After the 6 months, and then what can happen, what can that provide financially, opportunity-wise. Okay, so that's the first one. The second is financial. Okay, I'm very transparent. Me and Alexis are very transparent on the financials of the business. Hey, what do operating expenses cost? It costs every single week. Okay, how is this business profitable? Where does the money funnel in from? Okay, because some people, right? For me, I was one of those people that are like, okay, people are too happy. And you ever see something too good and immediately we're like, right? Too good to be true.
Yeah.
Okay, that was me. I came in, people are screaming, thank you so much. Okay, I came in screaming, people, something called car rides, and I'm like, fake. And I went into my upline, Richard. I'm like, Richard, explain this business to me, please. And he broke it down. And for me, when I asked, hey, Richard, explain this business to me, all I was asking is, can I succeed long term? Can we agree that's what most questions people are asking?
Yeah.
Hey, can we succeed long term? Is this recession proof? Is this stable? And the question is, if you want to know if we're stable, we're not. Okay, we're exponential. Okay, we do not grow linearly in this business. We grow exponential. Okay, so the amount of growth you're gonna view in the next couple of weeks is absolutely gonna be the hands down probably one of the hardest things you've done. I can honestly say I've been in this industry for a while, and the hardest time for me was the first 2 weeks. And can I talk about negatives like that? Can I talk about how the structure of where's my military? Yeah, right here. Okay, I talk about this a lot. The whole point of the SEALs training, the whole point of military training, is to weed people out. Agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed. The whole point, right? Like I said, usually when somebody quits, they ring a bell. Y'all remember that analogy we're using?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm telling you, there is turnover in this business. You will see people leave in the first couple of weeks, or leave in the first month, or leave in the first 2 months. But let me talk now. If I'm talking about the negatives, let me talk about the positives. Okay, we have a 99% success rate from the 6 months to the next 10 years. A 99% success rate from after the 6 months to the next 10 years. That is a true statistic. What's up, man?
You want us to write that, or you want to write on the board?
You can write that if you want to write that stat down. This is not even a meeting.
Oh, okay,
What were you asking?
I thought you were about to write on the board, that's why.
I am going to write it for you. Yeah, I'm going to write it. Yeah, you're good. Okay? Now let me talk about this, okay? If the main goal is I'm going to go ahead and I want a long-term business partner, okay? Like look at Miss Alexis over here, right? Went through the training, completed it. Do you think I was hardest on her or easiest on her? Hardest. Now, why would it make sense to put that kind of expectations, to put those kind of standards on someone? Why would that make sense?
Because you see it there.
See that potential. Okay? Now, I want you to write this quote down. Your standards are higher because your calling is higher. Your standards are higher because your calling is higher. Okay, I won't get too sentimental. Now, all I'm going to say is that, yes, there are some things that this business demands. They do demand being on time. They do demand showing up with a great attitude. They do demand asking questions and learning from your mistakes. I'll tell you things that they don't demand. They do not demand perfection. Okay? They do not demand employee mindseted people. They do not demand, okay, people who are perfectionists. They do not demand these things. Because we do not hire managers, we build them instead. Okay, we recruit qualities and we use that to go ahead and build managers. We do not recruit managers. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Before this, I was the best employee. 9 to 5, cubicle worker, civil engineering firm. Okay, I got tasks at the beginning of the day, and I couldn't leave until they were done. And I was damn good at it. But that never got me to the top. that kept me. I think the reason why I didn't get my promotion, and I promise you not. This was a quote that my HR said. You're so good. We have to keep you at your position. You know what kind of backhanded compliment that is? Hey, you're so good at dipping the fries in the fryer, we just can't promote you. The way you flip those burgers, there's just something to it. You just gotta stay there. You can never be a manager. Okay?
Okay. Quick question.
You go for that?
So, fast food has HR?
Fast food does? Yeah. Is that a question? Like, does fast food have HR? Yes, every company that has more than you're employed will have an HR. We have an HR. Okay? Cool. Now, sometimes it sucks, but some management is HR. There's a very fine line between there.
Yes, HR, isn't it? That's kind of tough.
That's kind of tough, because imagine complaining about management. You send an email to HR, who gets it?
Management.
Oh my God. Throw it right to the junk mail. All right? No, hands on. It sucks, but sometimes, I think Alexis talks about this a little bit. In her old job, right? If you wanted to complain about management, you'd have to talk to your manager. It sucks. But luckily, we have an awesome resource of people that we have a very huge open door policy. But what I was saying, right, regressing back to what I was saying, is if I kept getting into that mindset of doing the best at my employee mindset and things, I would have stayed flatline. Agreed? Now, these are 6 thoughts that I heard from a mentor that take you to the top. That's what this meeting's called. 6 thoughts that will take you to the top. Now, these quotes are really long, okay, so I won't write all of them down. That will take you to the top. Make sense? Seems like good. I think I have to underline this now. Okay? Now, let me pull it out. Okay. The first thought that will take you to the top. Okay? It's what you learn after you know it all that counts. It's what you learn after you know it all that counts. Okay, I'm gonna write a little bit. I'm not gonna write the quotes down, but I'm gonna write the bullet points down. Can I do that? Okay. So when I think about that, what does that mean to some of y'all? It's what you learn after you know it all that counts. What does that mean to some of y'all?
There's always going to be another person that knows more than you.
There's always gonna be someone that knows more than you. Great job,
No
Carlos.
matter how much you think you know, you can always learn more.
You can always learn more. Has anyone ever read every book that's ever been written? No. So there's always more knowledge to gain.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up, Caroline?
And like speaking on books, there's always gonna be someone that lived before you that had the same problem and wrote about it in a book.
Yes.
So you gotta know that every problem, like with a bully, anything has been solved already.
You're so much smarter than me. Yes. Okay, all of you are 100% correct. Anybody want to add to that?
I guess you learn from conditioning through your experience. You learn more from the actual experience.
Say that first sentence one more time. Oh my gosh.
You learn through the conditioning of your experience.
Okay, now let me tell you what a picture perfect world looks like. Okay, I get you come into the company, right? You learn the pitch in an hour. You go to the day in the field. You do 6 qualifying day. You go home. You do your breakdown. You read 17 books. You go home, right? You wake up, come in early, teach back all your systems, do another day of 6, then come back, leave, come back again, do another day of 6, get promoted on that 4th day, learn your second round in 15 minutes, then hire somebody. They all start. You all train them to leadership, right? You train 5 people to leadership, you get promoted to assistant manager, you never mess up any of the back end, and you get promoted. Who would want to work for that person? Who would want to work for someone that's never tasted failure? Who would? I am in my position. Alexis is in her position because we've messed up the most. Think about that. We have qualified with enough mess ups to be in our position. Isn't that cool? That the only difference between me and day 1 people that are in orientation yesterday is that I've just messed up more than you in this industry. Because on the other side of adversity, there's growth. On the other side of adversity, there's experience and there's wisdom, right? We just have to have the courage to seek it out. We just have the courage to actually keep learning. Imagine if I said, hey, I got my plaque, I'm in management, I have nothing else to learn anymore. 6 months, I know how to run $1 million business. In 6 months, I will learn. Isn't that kind of almost comical? I don't care how good I am. I don't care how good our industry is. Richard is an amazing man, and I owe him my life. Okay, but in 6 months, he could not train me and coach me to run the perfect business. Okay, my first couple of months running a business, I messed up. I had wrong conversations. Oh my gosh, I think I just answered an email 5 minutes late, and I missed out on a really important call by a client. I messed up. There were times that I was not the leader I should have been. That's okay. Because who was ever friends with that picture perfect, that awesome kid that was just perfect at everything, #1 in sports? Who was that kid? Sonari was that kid. She's just good at everything. Golden child. Okay, so with that being said, I was not. And I would look at somebody like that and I'm like, they're so unrelatable. Anybody ever feel like that? Anybody have that sibling that's just good at everything? Anybody have that sibling like when they speak, like they just speak liquid gold? And everything, they can never do anything wrong?
Yes.
Okay, aren't they so unrelatable?
Yes.
Okay, and I promise you they do mess up, but they live in their accomplishments, which some people think is okay, but never read your press clippings. Okay, second thought. Don't let anyone steal your dream. Okay, I'm gonna tell a little short story about my parents. Okay, so if you don't know my parents, they're the ones who birthed me. Spoiler alert, sorry. Okay, right? and they are really good at what they do. My parents were teenage parents. They had twins, my brothers at 16. They had me at 18. Okay, and they're now in their 40s. Okay, and they were really good at what they do. My dad went from mopping oil in a mechanic shop to owning the mechanic shop. So he is a business owner. Okay, my mom worked at the same job for 20-something years. She works at State Farm. Now she's a manager at a State Farm, and she's looking to move up to be like an agent of an entire office and run an entire office. Okay, so pretty successful. But do they know our industry? No. They were the biggest influences when I joined this company. Now the thing is they were the biggest influences. They were the biggest negative influences in this company. Because my dad is successful. Okay, my dad is very successful. But does he know this industry? No, I promise you, if he came in, he's a business owner, and if he saw the way I run my business, he would not agree. He runs his business like, hey, if you're late, you're fired. Hey, if you don't do what I'm telling you, you're gone. Because he needs employee mindseted people. This industry this industry weeds out employee mindseted people. I was employee mindseted. I almost got weeded out. And the importance is that I was able to have an open mind and change a little bit of my thoughts, because just because it's new doesn't mean it's wrong. And if I let my parents, who were trying to talk me out of leaving the business, I wouldn't have been in the position to pay for my sister's quinceañera. I wouldn't have been in the position to retire my significant other. I wouldn't be in the position to be financially stable if I let somebody else steal my dream. And that's not to gloat. I'm just building credentials, okay? And the fact that you are in the position probably right now, or will be in the position in weeks or in days or in minutes or in months, to come to those crossroads. Okay, my parents accidentally tried to steal my dream because at one point they gave up theirs. My mom's dream was not to run a State Farm office. My dad's dream was not to work 14 hours at a mechanic shop. Okay, that was not his dream. And I have no problem saying that. I love them to death. They taught me a lot of great things. But they just did not teach me how to run this industry. I learned that from my uplines. And I learned that from the coaching. Make sense? So do not let that outside influences steal your dream. Even because you love them, you can respectfully disagree with them. That's a very hard thing to say. I don't come from a traditional family. I'm Hispanic, and me saying that is very hard to say. Okay, imagine trying to tell your dad no. Oh. Imagine, I don't think my parents have ever apologized to me. Okay, it's very rare. Yeah, it's very, coming from Hispanic traditional families. Any international families? Raise your hand if that's your family. Yeah. Any local families can do that too. My dad was very, very by the book. right? He had this one rule. It was super funny. Now thinking about it, I laugh, but it was super funny where I had to sit down, and my legs had to be parallel with the seat. If not, I couldn't eat. This was a very normal thing. So the first time I got to spend the night, one of my friend's house. I was 16. I don't know why I would want to spend the night when I was 16 already, but I never got to. Okay, anyways, beside the point. So when I was eating dinner, someone had their legs on the other chair, and I came down and I looked at them. I was like, I was like, what? I was like calling 911. I'm like, is everyone okay? Because I was like almost wired that way, that I had to always eat parallel to the seat. Now I'm like eating on the couch, legs up. It feels good. And then I'm like choking on food. Anyways. Okay, cool. Sorry, that was a good tangent. Third thought that takes you to the top. Okay, you can spend your life any way you want to, but you can only spend it once.
This is the number 2, right?
This is number 3. Can I say that?
Point 3.
This is point 3, correct. You can spend your life any way you want to, but you can only spend it once. When he told me this quote, I sat there and I was like, ooh. Okay, this meaning makes me think of another meaning. What meaning am I thinking about? Does anybody know?
86,400.
86,400. Okay, we'll run that meeting eventually. I love that meeting so much. Okay, but let's build on that. Okay, you can only spend your life you can spend your life any way you want to, but you can only spend it once. What does that mean to you? How does that hit home? Does it hit anybody in the chest and sit like lotion and just marinate in there?
Marinate.
It's marinated.
Stewing.
Okay, when I think about this, I think about Tommy in Dallas. Okay, Tommy is 38.
Yeah.
38, 4 kids, and was a GM at Logan's, making well into the 6 figures. The pandemic hit, and says, "Hey, don't worry, you won't be laid off." How many of us would be relieved? Whew. And he said, "Okay, but you can come in for $37K a year, with the same job, same responsibilities, same time, same everything, but you have to come in at almost 100K pay cut." What would anybody else do?
Deuces.
Right, the door does not hit you on the way out because you already flew through it. Okay, and so he joins this industry, and does the everyday sales. How many of us with 4 kids at that age who was making well into the 6 figures? Richard told him one thing: "Hey, are you willing to take a step back financially in order to take a leap forward 6 months from now?" And he looked at him and said, "Is it worth it?" And he says, Richard told him one thing: this business works only if you do. This business works only if you do. So we went to the field for 4.5 months, for 5 months, built a team, and now he runs his own business. And he's a partner with Richard. And just last week, hopefully he doesn't mind me telling this, right? His company profited $5,600 after paying himself and all his employees and expenses. That's how much his business profited in 7 days. And if anybody's doing that math, that's upwards of $250,000. Because he's running such a successful business. And if he was not willing to take that step back in order to take a huge leap forward, he would still be stuck now. Anybody worked in the food industry? If you could explain the hours in one word, what would you say?
6 hours hot suck. Ridiculous.
The one question, I was a manager at Chick-fil-A, and then I was a manager at Whataburger. Texas, okay, Whataburger people, yes, I love it. It's the best restaurant ever. I miss it. Okay, my interview was, "Hey, can you stand for 10 hours?" And I said, "I've never have." But yeah, they're like, "You're hired." Yeah, right, that's it. "Can you stand for 10 hours? Cool, good. Here's a neighbor." That was it. That was it. Right? And so I was like, this is not the way I want to spend my life. And he says, you can only spend it once. And if you're that person that's like, "I wish I found this job earlier," who's thinking like that? Don't. Okay? Don't. I was that person. I wish I found it when I was 18. Now I would be rich by then. Okay, no. Okay, don't live in your past. Okay, you can't. Once you buy something, there's no refunds in this life. Okay, just work with the remaining balance we got left, and let's spend the rest wisely. Can I say that?
Yes.
Cool. 4. Bars. I'm from Fayetteville, that's why. Okay. All right, number 4. Success lies in forming the habit. This is a lot. This is a lot. Okay, work with me here. Success lies in forming the habit
This is number 4, correct?
of doing things that failures don't like to do. I think the word failures is a very, very tough word. I'm gonna say it one more time, okay, for everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Success lies in forming the habits of doing things that failures don't like to do. I think failures is a little bit of extreme of a word. Okay, I definitely do. That's the one part I would maybe change if I had to run this thing
Like
myself.
mediocre.
Right, that average likes to do.
Average.
I would replace average failures with average. I don't think anybody's a failure in life. Okay, I genuinely believe that. Now we can disagree to disagree. I think the only failures is probably the Cowboy season. That's about it. Okay, and I'm from Dallas, so I can say those things. Okay, okay, that's about it. No, success lies in forming the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. That mediocre does not like to do. Okay, you will determine your income in the next 6 months for the next 5 years. Okay, you will determine that, and the way you do it is by how much of a gap you bridge between today and 6 months from you now. Does that make sense? If you can grow exponentially from the person you were when you got hired to now, that will determine how much you will succeed in management. Anybody like, oh, this is my idea. Oh, I will save money when I'm rich. Who thinks like that? I used to think like that, okay? Y'all are way better than me. Okay, I was that person like, I'll save when I get more money. Who's that?
I can't
Alexis,
laugh.
come on. Come on. Anybody else like that? Liars, all y'all. Okay, so for me, I was like, when I get to this point, all right, like I used to be that kid, hey mom, when I start working, I'll give you all my checks. I was that guy. I was that guy. I'll give it all to you. And then I got my first check and I was like, woo! Mom, you still working, right? I worked hard for this. I clocked in.
Still for 10
I
hours?
stood for 10 hours. I flipped that burger. Nice. I earned these $12.
Not 12 bucks. And a half hour.
My first paycheck, I got paid weekly at Whataburger. My first paycheck, I'll never forget this, was $114. And I was like 3 digits? Woo! Yeah, I was living lavish. And then I went to go fill up my tank and then I was done. And then I went back to work, okay? Awesome. I don't know where I was going with that. Success lies in the format of, the habit, blah, blah. Okay? Do things that your past self was scared to do.
Fifth?
No, it's not the 5th. This is me just dropping bars now. I'm sorry. The 5th one is
Wait.
You repeat your point.
That your
Your
past
remarks.
self was scared to do.
repeat. No, not repeat. What am I saying repeat for? Do things that your past self was too scared to do. Can we agree? Okay. I would have not done this industry a year ago. If I started a year prior, right? Where's Shine? Where's Shine? There you are. Okay. I was talking to her on her trip to Atlanta. If you don't know, ask her how Atlanta was. It was awesome. Business. What y'all kids say these days? Lit. Okay. She's been in business for 20 days. 20 days. I feel like I've known her for 2 years. Okay. Like I haven't even met her kids, and I feel like I know them personally.
You ask me about them every day.
Okay. And so with that being said, she gets selected to go to the Atlanta conference, and she says one thing, right? And this is how I know her mental maturity. And this is why mothers are so awesome. Okay, right? She says, I almost wish I knew this business existed 2 years ago, but I know the me. And I know this person, the me 2 years ago, would have never been able to do this business. Okay? You found the opportunity at the perfect time. You have to realize that. You found the opportunity at the perfect time. I found the opportunity when the civil engineering firm went under. I found the opportunity because when I hit mechanical engineering, I accidentally selected marketing. I found the opportunity at the perfect time because at the time of my first round, I was gonna skip it over Zoom, and yet I'll never forget this, my thermodynamics class at Tuesday at 10 o'clock got canceled. And I was like, well, I'm already dressed up, so I might as well hop on the Zoom. I was in my dorm. Everything had to go right for me to find this opportunity. Everything had to go right for you to find this opportunity. Keep letting it go right. Do not question it. You're gonna keep questioning it. It's normal. But don't question on if it's right for you, okay? Because it finds you at the perfect time. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Awesome. 5. This is a lot. This is a big one. Okay. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny compared to what lies within us. Yeah, I know. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny compared to what lies within us. We're almost on the last stop. Okay. Thank y'all for the ladies wearing heels.
Wait, fighting for
I
my life.
I applaud you.
I'm doing it, champ.
That's why you're mastermind in the making. That's a lot of heel. That's awesome. That's impressive.
Yeah.
She does it every day.
Period.
Okay, that's successful. Okay, cool. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters to compared to what lies within us. Okay, so this is what I was saying. This is what I was building to the thought. It doesn't matter that you could have found this job before. It doesn't matter that the person in front of you started at a younger age. It doesn't matter if your upline is older than you or younger than you. Okay, you have everything you need to succeed. Okay, I'm in my 20s, and some people are older than me, some people are younger than me. It does not matter what is before me or behind me. It matters on what my mentor instilled in me throughout the 6 months. Same thing for you. We should not look at our external and instead look to build something internal. Does that make sense at all? What's up? Yes?
I just had a weird thought, like, is this like a library where like you have different authors, different covers, but we're all different books, and it doesn't matter where we are, it just matters when it's inside. Does that make sense? Like kind of like that?
You should write a book.
I should.
That was fire.
That was a very good
was
analogy.
fire.
It matters what's inside, but if you go to different books.
If I'm a book, I'm a Dr. Seuss. I have a lot of pictures. I'm a Dr. Seuss.
It's like a
Okay, right. One fish, blue fish, 2 fish, 3 fish, whatever it's called.
red
Red
fish,
fish,
one
close
blue
enough.
fish, green.
That's how you
fish.
know.
No, it's no green.
No, it's red fish, blue fish, one fish.
She's the mom.
So, yeah,
She knows.
That's what we chase.
Yeah.
Fish.
Okay. Plug back in. What is touching me? Oh, it's this. Okay.
Spiders.
Alright. So, you have, okay, now I'll leave you with this, okay? Before we get to the last thought. You have everything it takes to get to the next level already.
That's the last one.
No, that's not the 6th thought. This is the last bullet point before I get to the last thought. Okay, you have everything it takes. I didn't even write anything down. I totally forgot. I was going on a tangent. All vocals here.
The next level.
Pitch perfect. Right here. All cappella. Okay. Yeah, everything you need to get to the next level is already instilled in you. Estelita is already a mastermind.
Oh God.
She just needs the qualifications.
That's not open.
You are already a level 2. You just need to, like, Lily is already in leadership, okay? She just needs her ankle back, okay? Right? Like, Brienne is already a level 1. She just needs the qualifications to get to level 2. She is already, everything you need to get to the next level is internal. Now, the material outside just needs to reflect what's already internal. You act the part before you gain the title. You act like a manager before you are the manager. You do the right thing when no one's watching before you do the right thing in front of other people and get edified for it. Make sense?
Makes sense.
6th thought. And I love this one, that's why I made it last. Okay? Your greatest achievement are those that benefit others. Your greatest achievement are ones that benefit others.
That worked.
Right?
That worked.
We're smart enough, aren't we? Can I do that? Awesome. Okay. Your greatest achievement are ones that benefit others. Guys, isn't it awesome that I went to the conference in Atlanta, and Zach Shook, who's a huge business colleague of ours, okay, runs the office right down the street. He does the AT&T side of it, a different client. Okay, been in this industry for 16 years. And his upline, the person who brought him into the business, set one goal. He set one goal for the next 20 years. His name is Jeremy Mosier. You'll hear this name. And he says, my goal when I joined the business and got into management was I wanted to have 10 millionaires on my crew. I wanted to develop and coach 10 millionaires. I'm sitting there like, I'll be fine with 1 million. I'll be fine with 6 figures. This guy was thinking in the 7 figures already. Now 14 years later, he gets put on the New York Times like 100 best businessmen. It's insane. And isn't it cool to think like, if you have 10 millionaires under your crew, can we agree you got to be the 11th one?
Yeah.
Okay, can we say that safely?
Yeah.
This man's mentality was already shaped into management that his goal was one that benefits others. He wanted to benefit minimum 10 people to earn 7 figures. And he knew if he got 10 people that earned into the 7 figures, he would probably make into the 8, okay? I can say that. And I think that's so awesome. So today, when you go out there, please don't work for yourself, work for your upline's goals. Right? If you haven't realigned yourself with your upline already, go do so. Hey Estelita, what do you need left to get to Mastermind? She is one of the next owners. One of the next managers.
Hands down.
Okay? And if I genuinely believe if she gets 5 people's wives who are coming true, that's how she gets there. But we just need to align ourselves with her goal. Hey Brian, what do you need left to get to level 2? I'm sure Caroline and Zenaria will love. And if not, I'll probably already asked that question. Every time I get the chance, Zenaria's like, my upline's the best. My upline's the best. I'm like, Zenaria, you're crushing it. She's like, I know, Brienne's the best. And I'm like, hey, Zenaria, you're doing the best. She's like, I know, Brienne's awesome. Right, like she reflects her gratitude so much. And if we keep creating that culture, we're gonna be unstoppable. We're gonna create a dynasty. Right, I know I ran a little bit over on time. I hope I can do that, okay? But with that being said, y'all think we can use that?
Yeah.